Isn't that cool? We got another new intro video. Welcome. It's WrestleMania weekend.
Woo!
We've got everybody here. You're woo. All right, we're going to go around the horn. Welcome to the Battleground podcast. We're going to go around and let everybody introduce. We have got everybody on from different podcasts. So my name is Battle from the Battleground podcast, which you're watching. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We're on Periscope. We're on Facebook. We're probably on MySpace, maybe, I don't know. I think that's the thing. So we're gonna go. If we're looking at this screen, we're gonna start with Iridian. So introduce yourself to everybody out there.
Hello, Rest friends. My name is Iridian, and I'm also part of the Battlegals. You know, we are here. We have YouTube, we have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow us at Rest Friends, and also, you know, the Battleground podcast. And we also have a Rest Friends podcast that you can listen to anywhere you stream your favorite podcasts.
All right, let's introduce everybody to Ella J.
Hello, everybody. Ella J of A Wrestling Gal podcast here, bringing you the female perspective on all things pro wrestling. You can find us on Spotify, Anchor, Apple, Stitcher, basically anywhere you get your podcast. And all the links are at It's Ella J and A Wrestling Gal on Twitter and Instagram in my bio.
There we go. Josh, introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, it's Josh. I'm nobody. I don't have my own podcast, but I am on iHeartRadio across the country, and Woo-Tang is all. Welcome to WrestleMania Saturday.
It is WrestleMania Saturday, and let's introduce everybody to the Belle of the Brawl.
Hello, I'm Elena, part of the Battleground podcast and the Battlegals with Iridian and Lo, who is not here tonight, but check out her podcast, Wrestling Wind Down. And also, I'm Lena Del Beer on Instagram, so you can always find me drinking a nice cold frosty.
And it is WrestleMania weekend. It is the Super Bowl of wrestling for all of us wrestling fans. And if you want to jump in on the conversation, all you got to do is wherever you're watching, just comment. We'll show it up on the screen, and you can be in the show and just let us know that you're listening. So WrestleMania, it's going to be an interesting night because, well, it is fans are back. So that's an exciting thing that you don't have to sit there and watch the the Thunderdome wall. So what's everybody's thinking?
I wonder if we're still going to get in piped in noise. That's like my main concern. I wonder if it'll be loud enough in there for them to not put any sound effects.
Well, the Super Bowl was in the same place. They had the same amount of fans and the cardboard cutouts. And I don't think CBS put in fake crowd noise for the Super Bowl. I don't think they did.
But the thing is it going to be loud enough in WrestleMania? Because I mean, the way it looks. And there's still tickets, by the way, available for WrestleMania. I was looking earlier. It was like $37, and you can still get tickets for both nights for $37.
Hey.
Let's
go. Let's go.
But how spread out is everybody going to be is the question that I'm asking.
That's what I'm wondering. They're going to be in pods, but what does that mean? Like, are they going to be in a little igloo? That's what I was imagining.
That's, I think that, I mean, how did the Super Bowl look? Was everybody was kind of like spaced out, right?
Yeah, but it looked good. It looked all right. And even now with Major League Baseball, they sold their tickets in pods, but when you see the wide shot of these stadiums, it looks great. And add in the cardboard cutouts that either Tampa left in there or WWE put in, I think it's going to look great. I really do. I don't think the whole top section, I think, is LED lights that they covered up with screens. So I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
They do cardboard cutouts too, so that's from what I've seen from photos from fans.
Yes.
What they could have done that would have been pretty cool is if they, and I probably missed it, if you couldn't make it to WrestleMania, you buy a cardboard cutout of yourself and then let them send it to you once it's done.
I would have paid $100 for that. I would have paid
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that way you could be like, I was there, like how they sold t-shirts that I was at WrestleMania last year.
Yes.
This year.
Yeah.
But I was looking, and I think before we jumped on the show, Iridium, we were talking that there were some people that probably had to get evacuated because there was like a thunderstorm going on, and that was the kind of the thing that some people were worried about was, what do we do if it does storm? Like, do you postpone?
Deal with it. That's what they're going to do. They're going to deal with it. They did that in Jersey a few years ago. If it had snowed at the end of March in Jersey, what were they going to do? Continue.
Right.
That's all they're going to do.
So I saw the picture on Twitter of all the fold-out chairs that had just been like blown over.
Yeah.
Damage control.
Welcome. This is just them showing that maybe having fans in an outdoor venue wasn't ready just yet.
Or maybe it was, but not in Florida.
Not in Florida. Yes.
I have to say, I'm kind of jealous though, because I was at the very last live WWE event last year in 2020, and now it's like I don't get to hold that recognition anymore. I'm kind of jealous of everybody WrestleMania tonight. I am.
I was at the last sort of Ring of Honor show in Nashville, if that counts for anything.
Oh, was that the one we went to?
That was the one that we went to.
That was fun. David Arquette was there.
Yeah, it was so funny.
WCW champion of all time.
Yes, it was so funny because like everybody started freaking out because David Arquette was there.
Yes,
and he was like, screw this, I'm going backstage now because nobody would let him enjoy wrestling, and he was like way in the back. So we're gonna do the live pre-show tonight, and we're gonna be breaking down both nights because we want to enjoy tomorrow night and some other stuff. So let's kind of get into it. You got night one, and on Twitter, Drew McIntyre said that he wanted to kick off WrestleMania and walk out and have the fans, and that's going to be a great thing. But, does the women's tag team match kick off the night? Because I know Peacock didn't want to do a pre-show because they want everybody to continue watching this thing going on. So is that the first match, or is it going to be Drew and Bobby as the first match? But we're going to go ahead and we're going to let the ladies go first on this show. So we're going to look at this one. So you've got Natalya and Tamina versus Naomi and Lana versus Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke versus Riott Squad. And winner gets a title shot at night 2. So what is everybody's predictions on this?
Well. If you ask me, 2 words, Riott Squad. They've been together the longest. They have the best ring chemistry. It's time that they have their moment. Of course, I love Naomi and Lana. I think they're killing the game, especially the TikTok game. And also, I didn't see this, but I guess there was a poster with Carmella and Billie Kay on it as well. Yeah. Are we going to see that, or was that just a little accident? Was it going to happen and now it's not? But I think it's going to be Riott Squad.
I want it to be Riott Squad. I really want it to be. I can see, though, Naomi and Lana taking it since they were kind of the rightful number 1 contenders to begin with, as much as I would love for Riott Squad to win, as they are the most organic team out of this bunch. I can see Naomi and Lana going over here.
Oh, I would love it for it to be Lana and Naomi because those girls are just hyped and they get you so excited about everything. But the OG squad is the Riott Squad. So it definitely would make sense. Like Ella said, they're the organic tag team for them to get pushed onto tomorrow night. But I don't know if that poster was true about Carmella and Billie Kay, because on SmackDown, they were saying that they were together, kind of. So I don't know. But I think Billie just needs to get back with Peyton, and you need to give us.
I was going to say the same thing. We've discussed this. Iconics. Yeah, you can't don't put it with someone else.
And that was the tough thing, was watching the Iconics break up. But then it's like the following week they had them back together, but it was like not a tag team, and you're there ringside with them, and it was I don't know, it was just kind of very interesting. But I think that this is the moment for Riott Squad to get this match here, and then tomorrow night get the titles. Because if you go to our YouTube channel, we did have an interview with Liv Morgan, and she said that's kind of like what her dream thing is having that WrestleMania moment. And I think it's time for Riott Squad to have that WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
So,
sorry to Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose and Natalya and Tamina.
We didn't even.
And they're great. They're great. But the Natalya and Tamina does not make sense to me at all.
They just throw
That's so
teams
weird.
together half the time, honestly. Like,
Yes.
ugh. Like I
Like,
said,
what
the
y'all
only
doing?
really organic team here is the Riott Squad. So,
And you're right. I think that's WWE's thing is let's just throw random people together, see what happens, and see if they work out good. I mean, nobody thought that Cesaro and Shinsuke were going to work out when you first paired them together. And you're like, what is going on? But then all of a sudden, they start doing good. And then they're like, oh, okay, cool. Well, they're now tag team champions and whatnot and some other stuff. But so there is that match. We're talking about the first night of the women's tag team division match, Josh, and we've all kind of agreed that Riott Squad is going to be taking the win.
That is where I was going. As a matter of fact, I can't see any of these other teams being winners on this show, and Riott Squad really is that, like we've said 100 times before, it's WrestleMania. It's got to be the top guys. It's got to be the top girls. It's got to be everybody that people are watching. Look, I like the Riott Squad. It's good to see them back, and there's no reason why they shouldn't win this one at all, especially to go back on Sunday for the championship shot.
Yeah, it's got to be them getting that W tonight and then the W tomorrow. So the other match that more than likely probably will kick off the show is Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. Who is, who do you think is going to take home that one? And of course, if you are watching this pre-show, you can chime in and be a part of the show. Mike Killebrew said Josh Markovitz is greater than Goldberg.
That's my old program director from DC 101. You can see from his little icon there, he's a Tampa fan. He wishes he was at WrestleMania tonight. He wishes.
Well, yeah, you can drop your predictions in the comment sections wherever you're listening, and just let us know. We'll get that up there, and you can chime in on the show. So Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre, and if you know this feud, it goes all the way back to Impact TNA wrestling days. And the question we all thought, the one thing that we all thought was when Bobby won the title, we're getting Brock and Bobby at WrestleMania. Like, that's what we all thought. As wrestling fans, we thought that this was going to happen. And then, it's Drew and Bobby, and there's a lot of history between these two. But do you think Bobby drops the title so quickly because Drew never really got that WrestleMania moment last year? We'll start with you, Iridian.
That's what I'm thinking. Drew was robbed. I was sad that he got to win his championship at WrestleMania, but then there was no crowd. And he looked into the camera and he was like, this is for you. You guys loved me do this. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not there. There's nobody there to cheer for him. And I feel like they should just give it to him, right? So he could experience this with the crowd. I like Bobby Lashley. He has gotten more interesting to me in the past couple weeks leading up to WrestleMania than I was interested in him before. But I don't think they'll give him the win tonight. Not against Drew at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. What are you thinking, Ella?
I'm thinking the opposite. See, we've had 4 different WWE champions within a span of 6 months. We had Randy Orton, we had Drew McIntyre, we had The Miz, and now we have Bobby Lashley. I'm hoping that we don't get another short reign from somebody. I think they had Bobby lose the United States Championship and then go to WrestleMania as WWE champion for a reason. So maybe it's just wishful thinking, but I think it is too soon for Bobby to lose the championship, especially after the Hurt Business just broke up. You don't want to take away everything from him. And so I think MVP might have some influence in this match tonight. So we will see. I think there's no way Bobby loses, though. But again, I can see your point where you want Drew to have his moments, but Drew's been the top guy for the last year, so he doesn't necessarily need another moment. He's had his time, but I could see them wanting him to give that moment. But I think Bobby's going to retain tonight.
Yeah. What are you thinking, Josh?
I'm torn now after hearing both sides of the coin. I got to be honest. I really thought Drew would get his true WrestleMania moment after last year. The crowd's there. They like him. Bobby Lashley, honestly, I don't care if he wins or not. You mentioned about taking everything away from him. If you think back to Manias years ago, there's always a twist and turn about taking things away. China and Triple H both turned on DX in the same night back at WrestleMania 15. So on X-Pac and the New Age Outlaws, nothing is impossible at WrestleMania at all. If you want to take everything from Bobby Lashley, they're going to do it because it's WrestleMania. I don't put anything past them. But at the end of the day, or the end of the match, Drew McIntyre will be holding that championship up high.
Lena, what do you think?
Yep, I totally agree that Drew's going to have his WrestleMania moment tonight. I think that Bobby can take the loss here because he's such a great heel and he can just chase titles and do another storyline with someone else. But I do see Drew winning, and maybe we see Brock Lesnar at the end and create that kind of storyline.
No.
So
Lena,
I'm not trying to put the vibes out there, you guys.
Wash that out. That was
What have I done? I know.
here's what I'm thinking though on that. So if let's say that Bobby does lose tonight, because I think they do let Drew have his WrestleMania moment, because it was a great moment last year, him winning it and him doing the point at the camera and he's like, this is for you and blah 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 and all that other stuff. So I think they want to give him that moment. I think it's somehow maybe Cedric and Shelton get involved and maybe cost Bobby the match. Maybe MVP does his MVP thing and tries to distract the ref, and all of a sudden, because it's WrestleMania and it's the first time fans are there, maybe Brock comes from the crowd, goes in there, F5s and sets up doing the point at the camera and points and sets up, Bobby and Brock at SummerSlam, because I'm sure possibly, depending on how things go with this pandemic, maybe we'll be able to have a little bit more people in at SummerSlam, depending on where it is. If it's Texas, it's, the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, anything goes.
Anything goes. But I think that they're wanting a big crowd for that Brock and Bobby moment.
Here's why Drew's going to win. One word. Pyrotechnics. Thank you.
Pyrotechnics. There's also Josh Mike has another match for you. What about the match between Markovitz and Marty Jannetty?
I would throw him through a window, a barbershop window. All right. I would win that.
Let's kind of moving on. So let's look at the Raw Tag Team Championships. You got the New Day, who's held the title numerous times. And then you've got AJ Styles and Omos coming in. And I think that they are trying to kind of recreate the Shawn Michael and Diesel kind of aspect with AJ and Omos. But we've never really seen him wrestle. We've only seen him as the guy out of the failed Raw Underground security guard at the front door.
That's right.
So how is this match going?
Ugh.
We'll start with you, Lena, since you made the sound.
I don't know what to expect. Although Omos started training at the Performance Center back in 2018, so he does have a little bit of experience. Although we've never seen him wrestle. I mean, he's very tall. We know that. Yeah. I think it could go either way. I think fans would rather see New Day. Same. I want to see New Day retain because I love them so much. And putting the tag belts on AJ and Omos just doesn't make sense to me. I'm just not a crazy big AJ fan. So I think it'll be a great match to see what Omos can do. But I'm going to say New Day retains.
Yeah. What are you, Iridian, what are you thinking?
I am thinking they might give it to AJ and Omos just because we still don't know what to expect. I don't know if this guy can touch his knees. I don't know if he could jump. Like, what is his capabilities in the ring? And I think that could really send a lot of us for a loop, especially the New Day. I feel like the New Day, they could afford this loss because they're going to get it back in a couple months and they would just add to their championship reigns, right? Like, that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah. Ella, what are you thinking?
Like Lena, I honestly could see it going either way. However, there's no way that Omos is taking any pins or any submissions tonight. So if AJ and him lose, obviously AJ is going to be the one to take the fall. There's no way that they should or will have Omos take the pinfall here. Again, I think it could actually be a really good match. AJ Styles is one of the best in the world. I want to see what Omos can do. There's always he's that new element, that unknown factor in this match, and New Day is always phenomenal. So I'm really interested. I think this could possibly be match of the night, depending what Omos is able to do out there in the ring. I think there's going to be some fun antics in this match possibly, but I really could see it going either way. So I really, really don't know.
Yeah. Josh, what are you thinking?
I'm going total opposite, and I hate to say this, but I think it's going to be a quick total squash. I think AJ is going to have Omos just take care of business and wipe the ring up with the New Day. I think the New Day's time is done. We see how Big E is on his own over on the other side, and frankly, what do we need the two of them for anymore? Like, what's the point? Other than call and response, which we really don't do because there's nobody in the crowd at this point. I think it's going to be a quick, 90-second squash match.
I don't think it'll be a 90-second squash match. I don't think it's going to be like at WrestleMania where Braun Strowman had the referee's son being his tag team partner and that was it. I do think though, and here's kind of what I'm thinking, because there's not much left of this AJ and Omos kind of storyline left. I think maybe this is the time where those two split, so New Day retains, and maybe this sets up Styles to go after a title. Because what was the last title shot that he had? Was it? I can't tell you right now because
United States, a couple 2 years ago, where he was U.S. champ.
Was that when him and Cena were doing the thing? Or no,
that was Shinsuke, wasn't it? Or
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody's watching and you have it quicker than I have it, or any of us on the show, put it in the comment section and let us know. But I think that New Day retains, because you got to think if anybody wins that Raw tag team, keeps the tag team champions, it's got to be the New Day, because we just watched NXT TakeOver. There's a bunch of people that are going to get called up, people that are sitting in the wing. So you want to give it to at least. I'm not saying that AJ and Omos can, are bad workers or anything, but the New Day is that group that they go give the titles to, and they're like, you know what? We need you to put so-and-so over. And they'll be the ones that, drop it to whoever gets called up. Because, you think looking at NXT TakeOver, I'm not saying that all of a sudden, part of Undisputed Era, even though they're not together anymore, you're going to see them get called up to Raw, and it's going to be like, oh, we're still Undisputed Era. But then again, when they get called up, they'll probably be like, oh, we never broke up. This was all just for neck. But yeah, I think New Day retains the titles, and then that sets up AJ to kind of split and then go and do his own thing. But the next match kind of looking at is Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. But real quick, I gotta applaud Seth Rollins for his drip tonight. And check this out. Look at that.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is the greatest thing in the world.
I love it.
But this is a match, as wrestling fans, we know that this, with it being Seth, this could be possibly contender for match of the night, because both of these are amazing workers. And I think it's time, Cesaro gets the recognition, the recognition that he deserves. I know Cesaro, when he was on Talking Smack, that promo he did, I think Paul Heyman is the one that pulls everybody out their comfort zone on Talking Smack.
Yeah.
That promo that Edge gave to him, where he was just forehead to forehead, amazing. And Cesaro doing his thing. I think Cesaro needs a title run, but I think in this match, I've got to say Cesaro picks up the win over Seth Rollins.
Same. I agree. I think this is Cesaro's time. I love Rollins and all the comedic stuff he's doing right now. He's Mr. Drip Drip on Twitter. He's calling everyone out. He says he's the fave. And honestly, I think it's true. People love Seth Rollins. So I think that he can take the loss tonight, and we got to give it to Cesaro, because this is his time to shine.
Yeah, for sure. What is everybody else thinking?
It's a tough one. It's tough, because I like them both. I've liked both of them for many years. I like how Seth constantly is changing himself up, but I really like Cesaro, and I think he's the wrestler that we all like, the true wrestler that we all love. But it's as a grudge match, it's tough to be like, oh, they're gonna win. But if I had to pick, I'll go with Cesaro.
Woo! Yes, me too. I'm super excited about this match. Like we said, we've seen the promos. We've seen the storyline. I'm excited to see Seth get spun.
Yes.
A lot.
Yes.
And this is Cesaro's first singles match in a WrestleMania since he's joined the company like 10 years ago. And I feel like, Seth, he's got the clout. If Cesaro goes over, Seth is going to be fine. He's still going to be a top competitor. And he can take the loss here. So it's going to be Cesaro, and I hope so. Because, he deserves.
He's going to get that WrestleMania moment. He
deserves, yes. Mm-hmm.
Seth's had his.
Seth has had numerous WrestleMania moments.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So once again, guys, make sure if you want to be a part of the show and you want to throw out your predictions on who you think is going to win, just drop it in the comment section. We'll throw it up on the screen and you can be a part of the show. Also, make sure that you're following all of us on our socials. We'll throw that down there at the bottom. But kind of moving on to the next one, the match that, some people are kind of like, is this the bathroom break match? And he always has to have a match at WrestleMania. Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman in a steel cage match. Shane is going to, do his thing, but what's Braun's gonna win.
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah. Well, this is the first WrestleMania since like 1988 that hasn't had the Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, or Triple H. So Shane McMahon has to cover for all three of them.
Of course, yes. Oh yeah, this. I didn't care for this match at all, especially back at Fastlane when it was supposed to happen, and he was injured. Shame. How convenient. But when they add the steel cage, I'm kind of excited because I just want to see Shane get his ass whooped.
Yes,
whoop that ass. And I don't know if I'm sure y'all remember when we did our YouTube live last time, and I said John Cena's dad said that Braun was just like his whole character was just getting dragged through the mud.
Yeah.
Like it's so embarrassing, like to just talk about how stupid he is. It's dumb. So let's end it here tonight and see a good old fashioned ass whooping.
Yes. What's everybody else's thoughts on this?
This storyline has just been horrible for me. Like, I'm not interested at all. I don't understand why Shane feels like he needs to include himself and everything. But like, of course, it had to be a steel cage match, right? Because he's jumping off of that. Like,
yes.
He has to jump off it. That's probably the only thing I'm excited for is to see Shane do something crazy.
Yep.
No way Braun loses here.
Yeah.
If he loses, he might as well just go ahead and pack it up.
You're not wrong.
Because that's the thing is like you can't have him continuously lose and be, made fun of and all this other stuff. You can't do that. Like,
yeah,
it's not a good look for Braun because it's like, okay, how can you take him seriously if he is, constantly getting beat by people smaller than him, especially against Shane McMahon of all people. No offense to Shane if you're watching, but if you are watching, please.
Oh yeah. Hey.
Hi.
I do want to say, I was listening to Rest Friends earlier, and the whole cameo thing with what was it, $500 for a cameo from Shane McMahon?
Oh
yeah.
Do what?
Who is paying that? I looked and they dropped $300, but still $300. He's not even a champion.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
just,
get it.
I don't know.
Here comes the money.
Can't. But I do see Shane doing his normal WrestleMania moment. I think he gets probably thrown off the cage or goes through a table that has an airbag under it.
Airbag.
What if Shane escapes the cage though? Like, what if I could see them pulling a fast one where Shane like sneakily escapes Braun and then launches himself onto the floor, so he technically wins by escaping the cage. Like, I could see that happening, honestly, but I don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
Something's gonna happen. I think either Shane's got to have his WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
But how it happens, that's something that we're not going to know, but we'll find out tonight. But the next match is a good one, and it's one that Iridian is super excited about because we've got something that happened with Iridian earlier. So we're going to go ahead and let her set this up and kind of talk about what the next match that we're going to discuss is.
Oh my God, it's my favorite match of the night. It's going to be a tag team match, Damien Priest and Bad Bunny versus The Miz and John Morrison. I've been waiting for this all of my life. I didn't know that I needed. And Bad Bunny posted something on Instagram this morning. It was just him like without a t-shirt, and he's got abs. So he's been working out in the Performance Center.
I saw it.
And I'm just so excited to see what he's going to do tonight. And I had the opportunity to talk to Damien Priest this morning and just ask him a couple of questions. And he was just the nicest guy. I was just so grateful. He's awesome. Awesome.
And it just so happens that Iridian sent us that video of the interview. So, surprise guest, everybody. We have Damien Priest, and here's that interview.
Hola, Jan. How are you?
I'm good. ¿Cómo estás?
Bien, muchas gracias. I'm so excited to see you at WrestleMania. It's one thing to be called up from NXT to the main roster, but it's another to be put into a storyline with Bad Bunny, with Miz and Morrison. What has that been like for you?
Wild. It's like, is this real? Is this real? Is this really happening? I become friends with Bad Bunny, and now we get to work together side by side, and laugh and laugh, and really enjoy everything we're doing. Yeah, we get to brawl with Morrison. WrestleMania, it's all a blur. I'm still not sure if this is really happening.
Oh my goodness! And then you're backstage in Bugattis, which I'm sure is how you travel normally, right?
I got my own sweet ride, but I'll give it to Bunny. He got me beat up in car.
Oh my goodness! And you're going to be representing Latinos this WrestleMania. What does that mean? What does that mean to you to be able to do that?
It means the world. I never thought that idea was never in my head. I was focused on just accomplishing the dream. And now that I'm here, I realize that I have.
So it looks like we had a little bit of some technical difficulties because there was a little bit of an echo. So we will figure that one out. And sorry for that, everybody. I don't know what happened just then.
We forgive you.
Yeah, there's always issues when there's live. Things happen.
This is what happens when you leave me in charge and not our video producer, Bryan, because he knows how to figure all that out. But if you would like to see that interview, definitely go and check out Iridian's Instagram page. Where can they follow you to check that interview out?
Yes, make sure you follow me at Iridian Fierro, or you can watch it on the Rest Friends Instagram page. It's also there.
There it is. So definitely go check that out. So now let's kind of talk about this match because, I think that Bad Bunny and Damien Priest are going to win this match.
Yeah.
I did too.
I'm sorry, Ella. Ella's such a huge fan of The Miz.
Oh, yes.
I made a match card and I added myself and Ella in it because I wanted us to be in the match. She was going to be with Miz and Morrison, and I was going to be with Damien and Bad Bunny. But I think Bad Bunny's got to take it. Like, he's got the views. He's got the popularity right now. And Miz is so great at putting people over, and he's a vet. He does this. So I think that's what's going to happen tonight.
Well, I saw, Ella, you talked to The Miz this week, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, we were talking about his second title reign, and he makes a good point because in that moment, yes, it was an 8-day title reign, but in that moment, he was the guy, and he was there to put over a new champion, which was Bobby Lashley. So he played that role perfectly well, and now they've transitioned him and Morrison, the veterans in this instance, to bring in some new talents like Damien Priest, who is making his debut at WrestleMania against international superstar Bad Bunny. So they're there to do their jobs. And he's definitely more gracious to be in this scenario than I think most people would be. He is totally willing to put people over, and he is so humble. I think those are the perfect, as much as I would love for them to win. Totally understand this scenario. You want to get more viewers. And so taking two vets that you trust to put over Damien Priest, the debuting Damien Priest, and superstar Bad Bunny. You got the two best people to do it for you, you know?
That's a good point, because I have seen a lot of people saying they've been watching because of Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
So Bad Bunny needs to win tonight, especially with Damien Priest, who just came up onto the main roster. I love him. He's so cool. I think it'll be a fun match, especially since Bad Bunny's been training.
Every day I heard.
Oh, it's going to be so cool. And this is not the last we're going to see of Bad Bunny. So I think they're going to take it tonight, and I don't know what's going to happen with Miz and Morrison. I've seen some rumblings of a possible breakup, but cannot confirm because I don't know.
But they just had their hit song come out.
So good. So good. I love it.
Hopefully they'll perform it tonight.
That I think they should, or maybe you get Dell and Brennan coming out and they sing "Boats and Hoes" on the WrestleMania boats.
Yes. We'll get to night 2. I know of one live performance so far for a theme.
Phoebe Rexha, right? Was she announced?
No, I'm thinking Ashley
Costello.
Costello. Yeah, from New Year's Day doing Rhea Ripley's themes. That's gonna be cool.
Amazing. And now let's get to the main event of night 1.
I didn't tell you who I thought was going to win.
Oh, Josh, sorry. I didn't say who I was going to win either. This is the part where we let the ladies do this one because this is their match.
I'm just going to sit here and eat my chicken and fries because clearly nobody cares I'm eating on camera anyway. So. My face. Yeah. No, I'm picking Bad Bunny and Damien Priest. I'm a huge Bad Bunny fan, so like for his music, I love his music. I love everything. I love everything about him when he was on SNL with the 24/7 championship. He gets it. And as a celebrity in here doing this, like he's become a WWE superstar and he's a singer. And I love how he kind of doesn't really mix the two together, but he kind of does. So I gotta go with him and Damien Priest. Plus, I'm over Miz and Morrison. Break them up.
And he's also not like your normal celebrity in the WrestleMania match. Like years ago when I went to WrestleMania in Atlanta, Snooki was in the wrestling match.
Oh, lucky.
And there wasn't much that she did other than kind of like the cartwheel back handspring into the turnbuckle thing. But like you look at Bad Bunny, and I was reading reports that he is at the Performance Center training and he is like trying to learn. Like that punch he threw the other night looked like it hurt. And it probably did. Who knows? But yeah, I see Bad Bunny and Damien Priest winning. And then I also think that this is the end of Morrison and Miz. That's kind of what I'm thinking on that one. But I think it's time and it sucks for Miz too, by the way. Like you get the WWE championship after not having it for over 10 years. And then it's like, well, sorry, buddy. Got to go, man. We're going to give this back.
That really wasn't cool, though, to make him a transition champion. Like that kind of it ruins his legacy. Not that his legacy was this great all-time, legacy, but I don't know. It was just weird. It was in the last, 3 months?
Yeah.
I don't remember it. That's how
it did make him a 2-time Grand Slam champion, though. So I'm trying to see the pospositives, but this is another discussion for another time.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary to use him. That's all. It's just unnecessary.
Yeah.
And especially when you kind of knew in a way that you were going to have fans at WrestleMania, at least have somewhat of a WrestleMania where he attempted to cash in the Money in the Bank. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to be full sprinting Seth Rollins, especially because that ramp keeps getting longer and longer every WrestleMania.
Go-karting.
Yeah, just kind of sneak him in. Maybe do the Undertaker where instead of Undertaker going up all the way at the ramp after his WrestleMania match, he just went halfway and he's like, nah, to hell with this. Lower me down now.
Yeah.
So looking at the main event of night 1, which was a very thing, we kind of talked about this earlier. At first, it almost didn't seem like this was going to be the main event because they were like touting other things as the main event. And then the one thing about the IWC, the internet wrestling community, they all voiced their opinion. And it literally took them until yesterday or day before yesterday to announce, yes, Sasha and Bianca are the main event for WrestleMania. The build for this match, man, between these two, it's you kind of thought, why are they putting them in this tag team at first? Because it's like, what if they did win the women's tag team championship? And then heading into WrestleMania.
That'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
But
I'd like that.
But I don't know, man. But it would have been cool because then you'd have to be like, oh, well, somebody's this and somebody's that. But it's like, I think the thing that stinks for Sasha is every time she gets the title, she's always like expected to drop it and she never gets the long reign that Sasha deserves.
Yeah.
Like Bailey, she gets it and she keeps it for forever and ever and ever. But like when Sasha gets it, it's like, we're going to give it to you for like maybe a couple months, give or take. And then you're going to drop it at the next pay-per-view. or a random SmackDown episode.
She's had a hell of a run though, and
6 months. Yeah.
I'm ready for this Bianca era.
Yes.
Oh, she's just so relatable. I feel like my best friend is fighting tonight. That makes sense.
It's gonna be a very tough one to figure out which one you want to win, because everybody loves Sasha and everybody loves Bianca. So this is going to be a very hard one to root for, because I mean, Sasha is, I guess, technically a heel. I guess you want to say that, and Bianca's the baby face.
Mm-hmm.
But when you really look at it, they're both kind of baby faces.
That's true.
So what are you thinking, Ella?
It is a tough scenario because I find myself wanting to root for both of them. However, I think it's been a good run for Sasha. She's had an incredible last year, and I don't know if she's going to continue forward with her Disney stuff she's doing with The Mandalorian, so if they're going to write her off or something. But if they are, WrestleMania is the time to do it. Have Bianca Belair your next new star that they are pushing, the Women's Royal Rumble winner. Give her everything. I think... Again, I could see it going both ways, but I think the right call here is Bianca Belair, honestly.
Yeah, it's gotta be Bianca. I mean, she is on fire right now. And then once, you could do once Montez is like fully healthy, you could have them run all championships and have them all kind of have that group. Mm-hmm. And maybe, when we talked to Bobby Lashley, he talked about wanting new Hurt Business people in the group. And he talked about wanting Leo Rush back and Swerve Scott in Hurt Business. But what if MVP comes up and is like, all right, Bianca, you've got the title. Street Profits, you have the title. Maybe Bobby has a title after tonight. There's your new Hurt Business that has all the gold.
I'm down for it.
Great.
Yes.
Just Vince, if you're watching, just send me the check. I'll come be creative for you guys. Yeah. What do you think about this match, Iridian?
I am going to say that Bianca's going to take it. I think that Sasha has been such a great workhorse throughout the past year. She had she was tag team champs with Billie, and then she had a great feud with her. So I think as much as I love Sasha, I just have such a warm spot for Bianca. I think that it's really her time. She is the Rumble winner, and I just see her doing so many great things. Montez is also in the WWE, and I love a good couple in wrestling.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. But I think she's going to take it tonight. I'm so excited for her.
And I know we've said this on the show before. Montez has the highest frog splash I've ever seen from somebody.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I'm afraid tonight, if he's healthy and he can hit a frog splash, he's probably hitting that thing above the ring tonight.
He's going to be on the boat. That's where he's going.
Yeah.
Give him a frog splash off the boat. Somebody's got to jump off either the WWE boat or the Buccaneers boat. Somebody has got to jump off of that. And of course, we'll now transition into night 2 of WrestleMania. And, let's kind of look. It's the Women's Tag Team Championship match. I think Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler will not walk out as champions. I think it's going to be Riott Squad from tonight's entry to get into tomorrow night.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And people are saying the Bellas are going to come back. Well, the Bellas are there because the Hall of Fame gets a spot, their moments at WrestleMania. But could you imagine if the Bellas have something to do with tonight's match? I really don't see it being possible. But I don't know. It's WrestleMania. Like you guys said, anything could happen.
Anything.
What do you think of Josh?
Well, I wanted to go back and first say that's who's winning tonight.
Oh,
because there's my little Sasha popped up.
That's so cute.
I love this. I do. She's worth like $50, so there's that. Like we said earlier, Riott Squad's gonna win tonight to win tomorrow. I would like to see the Bellas get involved tonight. I like run-ins. I like that kind of stuff. I like to see something. I want something to happen tonight to make me watch tomorrow night. I want in that match and say, well, this happened, so now this group has to get retribution the next night. I enjoy that kind of stuff because it makes the viewer go, well, you know what, I saw the match tonight. Other than, well, they'll probably win tomorrow. There's no other incentive. I want something else in there, and I hope that it is the Bellas. I hope that it's something that's big enough to make me go, besides the winner, this is the reason I'm watching it. But Riott Squad wins tonight and tomorrow night.
Yeah. And, kind of going back to that, and I was trying to find this earlier through a text message, but I couldn't find it. But the Heel Marks podcast actually kind of threw a tweet out there, and I saw this, and I was like, what if this does happen? And they said, putting this into the universe, Billie seems to think that Carmella will be her partner, because they talked about that she'll be her partner. But what if Carmella replaces her last minute with Bailey?
I heard that.
Giving us Baymella at Mania, and just when you think Billie Kay is all alone, out comes Peyton Royce to be her tag team partner.
That'd be fun.
That would be so great.
my
God.
And by the way, that's not for me. That is from
Very
the that right there. I read from Hill Mark's podcast, so I saw that and I was like, I can see that happening. I mean, it's you never know what's gonna happen. It's WrestleMania.
Man, I could see that too. Bailey was interviewed recently and said that she's not involved in WrestleMania, but she almost kind of left it kind of open-ended. So what if that is the outcome? Although I am going Riott Squad tonight and tomorrow. And I could see the Bellas also interfering because they've been working out really hard lately. And I know they both just had babies this year. Or was it the end of last year?
Last summer.
Last summer.
Yes. So maybe just because of that, I don't know. Maybe because they've got these badass outfits to wear tonight that they put on Instagram today. Yeah. I don't know, but Riott Squad.
Maybe we can get some legends back coming to randomly surprise a tag team. I don't know. So everybody's kind of thinking Riott Squad, if they win tonight, they win the titles tomorrow, and then they have that WrestleMania moment down there in Florida, which is a full circle moment because that's where they got their start, right? Down there in Florida. I believe possibly once the Performance Center stuff and NXT and whatnot. So the next match is going to be the one that we've seen a million times, but even though we've seen the match all the time, we know it's going to be a good one. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn with Logan Paul, which is the very weirdest person to come into WWE, but it makes sense because, well, now Logan is a boxer and so is his brother, and his brother's got a boxing match next week. But
I had to Google who he was, so if that says anything.
I hear his name.
I did.
I still have to Google who he is.
Yes. I think Kevin Owens gets his KO Mania moment. I'm not really much of a gambling man, but I will say that Owens will jump off a boat tomorrow night.
Yeah. We'll do
because he wanted to do that last year.
Yeah.
But he didn't. But he did the next best thing of jumping off the WrestleMania big sign behind the announce table.
Yeah.
Owens is going to jump off something.
Yes, absolutely.
He will survive.
So what's everybody's picking on this one? We'll go rapid fire real quick because I know we've got about 10 minutes left in the hour pre-show that we're going to do. So rapid fire, everybody go, starting with Iridian.
I'm going with Kevin.
Ella.
Kevin Owens wins to put over Sami Zayn's conspiracy theory even more.
Yes.
Josh.
Kevin Owens off the top of the ship.
Lena.
Kevin Owens with the KO.
All right, we're going 5 for 5. Everybody's going with Kevin. That's who I'm going with because Kevin, I really think Kevin needs to be back in the main title picture again. But, they made the announcement, and maybe this is what we could be getting soon. They did make the announcement that the Raw announce team is getting changed up. Tom Phillips is gone. No sure what's happening with Samoa Joe, so maybe do we get Samoa and KO? Who knows? But whatever it is, I just need Samoa Joe back healthy and at least wrestling, because when you give him a microphone and say, you know what, have fun, you get the best stuff from Samoa Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on to the next match, which we talked about this before the show, and we're trying to figure out how this is going to happen. But you've got the Intercontinental Championship match, Big E versus Apollo Crews, in a Nigerian drum match. And we kind of talked about this earlier, and I thought, well, maybe with this new Apollo, and maybe it's going to be kind of like the scene in Black Panther where they're doing their thing where he's trying to become the new Black Panther. I don't know. What's everybody thinking?
Sounds like a no holds barred match to me. I was imagining like just a drum line.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's the thing is like I don't know what's gonna happen, because when I first saw that Apollo was doing his thing, and they're like, Apollo has an accent, and I was like, what happened? Like, I've had Apollo sitting in our studio before talking, never had an accent, even off the microphones. And then I had to look, and I was like, okay, I kind of see where they're going, but what is a Nigerian drum match? Like, what do you guys think is gonna happen?
Lots of drumming. That's what I think is going to happen.
Somebody's head
I don't
goes
know.
through a drum. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Is it like something on a pole mat? I mean, I don't know what it is. I can't tell you what I'm expecting because I don't know what it is. I have nothing. I literally have nothing. I'm sorry. I wish I did. I have fries and chicken fingers. That's what I have.
I don't know, man. This is one of those ones where you don't know, because you don't know how this is going to be. Like, they've done really, really well building this Apollo thing up with the accent, with this storyline. You know, I now that's on Peacock, and this is going to be a one to watch that people are going to be like, it's either they're going to talk about it because it's really good, or it was really, really bad because the concept was like, what is this? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the night, I think Big E retains.
Yeah, I agree. I hope so.
So let's see. Let's go to another interesting match, because we're getting closer towards the main event. The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. And recently just talked with Alexa Bliss, which, by the way, if you want to jump in and listen to that interview, check out the Battleground podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast. But this is one of those matches that if they didn't have fans, I'm 100% sure this would have been a cinematic match.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I know that's what I'm wondering, if they're going to do that or not, because they've got fans there.
Yes.
But the Fiend is like is made for like the cinematic matches. So I don't know.
Maybe it's one of those ones where it's like part cinematic, part in the ring kind of thing. I don't know. It's tough now that you actually have fans and not a video wall.
Yeah. And the whole storyline with Randy Orton is just getting a little bit stale for me. So I hope this just ends tonight.
Yes.
I don't know about y'all. I'm just like, I love the Fiend. I want the Fiend to have some more feuds with other people, but I'm just tired of it.
Yeah.
I think it does end tonight. I think this is going to be the final chapter of it. I can see Bray going over here since he just returned, and then give Randy Orton something new, something fresh, and give the Fiend somebody new, maybe like a Braun Strowman, who's right there, who he has history with. So I think this will be the closing chapter of this feud too.
Yeah, I would give it to Bray, just because I'm also tired of this. Like, come on. And the addition of Alexa Bliss was great because it added something different. I also think they need to just, do their own thing and forget about Randy. Randy tried like killing this man, I don't know how many times, and it's not worked. The Fiend keeps coming back. So clearly, I feel like they could just move on.
Yes.
I think it's got to move on after this. Randy's been too good. I'm just ready for Randy versus Soulja Boy, and
Soulja Boy, I told him.
SummerSlam. That's what we're getting it. Everybody's kind of said their piece. We're kind of thinking it's just going to move on. Bray's probably going to win and then disappear. Or maybe Bo Dallas, in the thing, because that's the internet conspiracy, is it's Bo Dallas under that whole thing and not Bray Wyatt. Because I went down the rabbit hole one night and it was like, that's Bray Wyatt, or that's Bo Dallas. Look at Bray's arms. That's not his arms. They're too skinny. And I was like, somebody spends way too much time trying to figure these things out. Maybe it's Sami Zayn and the conspiracy. Maybe he could figure that out. Kat wanted to say hi to everyone.
Hi, Kat.
Hello.
Let's look at the next match, the Raw Women's Championship, Asuka versus Rhea. I will go ahead and say that I think Asuka maybe she might be hurt or something. That concussion kind of still messed her up a little bit. But I think that they've hyped up Rhea too much for her to lose this match. So she's got to win. And that's who I'm going with.
And not have her win the title. You just don't do that. You just don't do that.
Yeah. So what's everybody's thoughts on this match?
I'm hoping this is when Becky comes out and Rhea has won, and then Becky's like, I want my freaking title back. And then
You know what
I don't
then's
know.
gonna happen though? Becky's gonna come and ask for her title, and then you're gonna hear Joan Jett's music play, and then Ronda's gonna come down and point to the WrestleMania sign like she did randomly the one time that she was going after it.
We take it all back.
Oh no.
Or if there's then they don't put SummerSlam signs up. She could just randomly point to a SummerSlam sign and be like, "That's fun." But what is everybody else thinking about this?
I said what I said. Rhea Ripley. You don't bring her up and then hype her as much as they have, and then not give her the title. It just seems silly. Give her the WrestleMania moment. Asuka's way over. She doesn't need the title right this second. Give Rhea Ripley that WrestleMania moment.
I want justice for Rhea Ripley from last year. So Rhea Ripley, new Raw Women's Champion. Give it to us.
Mm-hmm. And she's getting her music performed live.
Oh, yes.
Then that's a sure automatically you're going to win. Mm-hmm. By the way, who had the best live entrance performance in WrestleMania of all time?
When Limp Bizkit performed, was that for Undertaker?
Yeah, I think that was what WrestleMania in Seattle.
Rolling.
Yeah. And then also,
by the way,
when,
why is Limp Bizkit not in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I don't know.
Kid Rock's in there.
Come on, Fred Durst.
My thoughts on Kid Rock, though.
I know. I really think that Limp Bizkit should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. I mean, they played a very crucial role in like Attitude Era. I mean, that video package from WrestleMania, what was it, 17 with Austin and Rock when they did My Way?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they just got to be there. But anyways,
man would be the other one. But
so we've got a couple more minutes, and we're going to spend the last little bit of this pre-show thinking about the main event on night 2. You've got Roman Reigns versus Edge, and then Daniel Bryan got his way into this match. What is everybody's
2021?
Do what?
Yeselmania 2021.
Yeselmania, I like that.
So what's we'll start with Iridian. What do you think on this match?
I think it's going to be Daniel Bryan based on just we don't know what his situation is with WWE. We don't know if this is his last WrestleMania. I feel like Edge would have one more in him at least. So I would say just give it to Daniel Bryan at this point. Like it's not going to hurt Edge to lose. Roman is not going to get hurt, if he loses. So I would say Daniel Bryan all the way, and especially because the Bella Twins are going to be there, and it's just going to be such a cute moment when he gets back the champ and Bree's backstage, and I'm here for that.
Is their son old enough to walk? I think maybe.
A couple of years.
If he's a couple of years, I think that's going to be the WrestleMania moment of the little kid just kind of like running as fast as he can to the ring.
I know Birdie can, but Buddy was just born. Last summer.
He fresh.
Well, like years from now, it's going to be the Bella Boys versus the Hardy.
Bella Boys.
Yes. Ella, what are you thinking on this one?
See, I don't see Roman losing here, but again, I can't fathom to see Edge or Daniel Bryan getting pinned in this scenario. So it's always a toss-up. I've heard the rumors that it's Daniel Bryan's last WrestleMania. I think Edge still has a little bit more time, but I just can't fathom either Edge or Daniel getting pinned or something, but I also can't see Roman losing. So somebody's going to have to take this pinfall. I don't think it'll be clean. Then again, it's a triple threat. It's really no count out and like no disqualification really. But I can't see Roman Reigns losing here. But again, I can't really see Roman Reigns getting pinned at all either. So I don't know what is going to happen, but I can't see Roman Reigns losing personally.
That's the tough one in this match is Roman is just way too on fire to take the pin from Edge or Daniel. And my thought process was, okay, Daniel Bryan's been thrown into this match. Daniel's going to be the one that takes the pin. And, that way Roman doesn't get beat technically. Yeah. And, Daniel's as the great worker that he is, puts over Edge, puts over Roman. Then at, what is the next one? SummerSlam, we get spear versus spear match. And then, Edge either drops it or Roman gets it back, kind of continuing the storyline because the whole Edge and Roman storyline has been really, really good so far. And I think a lot of that has to do with Paul Heyman being involved with Roman. But I'm looking at CBS Sports right now, and they've got Daniel Bryan picking up the win for this. Because like you were saying that this could be his last WrestleMania as a full-time performer. And since fans are there, possibly, and then maybe, you know, Daniel and Edge set up something, or maybe we get that, you know, triple threat again at SummerSlam. But I thought for the longest time, I thought this is going to be Edge's thing, because he came back to WrestleMania last year, looked strong, then got hurt, then, you know, time off, came back, and it's like, okay, Edge won the Royal Rumble. We're getting Roman versus Edge. How is Edge going to be able to actually pin him? And I want Edge to win. That's just me.
I want Edge to too, but I don't know what they're going to do.
That's the tough thing. Josh, what are you thinking?
No, it's good that we don't really know what they're going to do. Sometimes you go into Mania, these kind of championship matches, and you go, well, you know what? This guy's going to win. This guy's going to win. And I like that we don't know. I was watching Smackdown last night, and I'll tell you what, Daniel Bryan was on point. Everything just seemed to click with his promo last night. And they're really playing it up like when he won a couple of years ago, and it was WrestleMania when Jerry Lawler. By the way, Lana, I did not come up with that. Jerry Lawler did, for the record. I have to give credit. But it seems like they're going down that same path, and if that's the case, I can't imagine them not giving it to Daniel Bryan. On the other hand, why is Roman Reigns going to lose this title? Like, this guy is so good right now and so on fire, and there's that tease with The Rock for next year, maybe. And what better way to do that than maybe tonight, and maybe have some kind of weird Rock. Look, I've been pushing The Rock for 6 months. We were talking about Survivor Series. I just want The Rock to make an appearance, especially on a WrestleMania. But I just don't see why Edge or Daniel Bryan should be winning this title at this point. Edge, definitely not. There's no reason for him to have one. He doesn't need it at all.
Yeah, I totally agree. I see Roman retaining tonight. I'm looking forward to this match because all three of these men have had like career-threatening things happen to them, all of them. So I'm excited to see who wins. I think it's Roman. I don't want to see Daniel Bryan retire just yet, and I don't want to see him lose at a WrestleMania if it's his last one. But like Josh said, I like not knowing, so I'm excited.
I want the excitement. I want the surprise. I like it.
And that's the thing, is we all think it's going to be Daniel taking the pin, but I mean, we don't really know. That's the fun thing about WrestleMania, and it could change again tomorrow. Who knows what happens? But that is going to wrap up tonight's WrestleMania pre-show prediction with all of us here. We're going to go around the room one more time so everybody can tell where they could follow you, your podcast. We're going to start with Iridian, and we'll wrap it up.
Yes, well, you can listen to the Rest Friends podcast anywhere that you stream your favorite podcast, on Apple, on Spotify, on Anchor, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Rest Friends and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, also at Rest Friends.
There it is. Ella J.
You can listen to a Wrestling Gal podcast, much like Iridian's, on Spotify, Apple, Anchor, Stitcher, basically all your podcasting platforms. You can also order merch on awrestlinggal.com and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at awrestlinggal.
There you go. Go make sure you hit that follow button if you're not doing so. Lena, where can everybody follow you at?
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Lena Del Beer. And you can find Battle Eli and I and the Battle Gals at Battleground Podcast on Instagram, at Battleground IHR on Twitter. Still waiting on that handle, Battleground Podcast. Just saying.
We're still waiting on that. There's some Swedish rap battle that has it, but they've been suspended, and I've been tweeting Twitter saying, hey, can you please give us that account?
Come on.
Josh, where can everybody keep up with you?
You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Josh M Radio. I'm on iHeartRadio stations across the country. Too many to name, but DC 101 tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So if you want to listen 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. on the iHeartRadio app, DC101.com.
Definitely go check that out. And of course, my name is Battle, host of the Battleground Podcast. You can find me Twitter, Instagram. It's Battle on Air. Battleground Podcast on Instagram. Battleground IHR on Twitter. And we will have a big announcement coming soon about the podcast and merchandise. So make sure you're following along with that. And without, I guess that's it for the show. So everybody enjoy WrestleMania. It is the Super Bowl for us wrestling fans. Get your yes chants on, Bad Bunny. And we are going to end the show. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on our pre-show tonight. We'll do it again soon.
Woo!